and they did also finish the game with a 5 Dragon Stack and a second Baron. So we'll see what each team chooses to go within this last game. I don't know if Samsung will still rely on that Bard.
Yeah, Samsung will be on blue side for the second game in a row, so same bans coming in so far as we saw in the last game. Now the question is that Sivir going to be banned one more time by the Tigers?
Yeah, where do they feel comfortable enough after having now won a game against the composition that Samsung has prepared to kind of leave that open?
I still don't think you let the Sivir through right here. Sejuani will be the final ban. So mixing it up, Gragas will be available. Samsung looking to first pick the Gragas this time, presumably, or draw out a Gragas ban. Now, lots of choices here. Do you get rid of that TF? Do you get rid of the Rek'Sai? But it's a hard situation because if you ban Rek'Sai, then they first pick Gragas, and what does Hojin play?
Oh, so they're going to go with the Gragas ban. Okay.
But Samsung last game took Rek'Sai and Lee Sin, and we're happy with that situation.
Yes.
So Rek'Sai will be the first pick for the second game in a row. And they have to take Lee Sin here to see what else Eve's going to play. Probably Evelyn.
Yeah, he has been resorting to that a little bit. And the Sivir being open does mean that the Tigers can now secure that for themselves. Of course, Prey has had some good games on that. And just in general, the mobility that Sivir brings to the entire team is so useful and can really help round out any sort of team composition.
Well, they could do that.
They could, okay. Well, first of all, that shut down very core parts of the whole Bard composition, the pick composition coming in from Samsung.
Yeah, but we better hope that Crown doesn't play Fizz or some other assassins here that can punish early Twisted Fate picks.
Well, Fizz TF is it's quite an interesting matchup, of course, early on. TF can try to keep on going and just go with roams instead of having to deal with that 1v1 post 6. But
so Samsung, this is a little bit of a wrench in their plans. I assume they're still going to take the Lee Sin right here and maybe force Hojin onto the Evelyn instead, which has been, as more jungle picks become banned, a backup jungler. He could go for Nunu as well.
Yeah, Nunu wouldn't be too bad. I mean, in general, with Sivir, TF can, worst case, also benefit from that if you don't have another target available. Now are going to be taken, so Samsung going for a little bit more standard, team-oriented pick here.
Now, Alistar has fallen very far down the draft in this particular game. They may want to go for the Rumble just to have some more damage early on to counteract the Rek'Sai. And this would be a huge mid-game setup for the Tigers for fighting around that dragon.
Yeah.
So many champions that have this big power spike in the mid-game. Alistar as well, when he first gets that ultimate, is one of the best tanks for some of these early fights.
And looking like maybe they want to secure the Alistar. I mean, at this point for the KOO Tigers, they're not waiting on too many hard counters or something like that, so they're actually going to leave that top lane open.
Yeah, I think this is smart. Go ahead and take the Evelyn right now for the mind games and the early pressure. Of course, the threat of a TF gank with an invisible Evelyn and a Sivir coming in too, so they have huge pressure on the bottom side of the map. Of course, the tower diving prowess of Alistar also, so the Tigers probably going to be looking for the 2v2 matchup here, standard lanes, so they can make those kind of plays.
Samsung really, I mean, you see Crown on your screen right now. He's really debating, how do I most effectively shut down the Twisted Fate? Because the threat doesn't matter if he can't leave lane, or if he's dead, obviously. So you can either go with someone who can push him out even harder, or go with an assassin to shut him down.
Could go for Lulu here, yeah, Jinx Lulu. So actually,
the swap.
Samsung actually going with a very similar composition to the one that the Tigers ran in Game 1, except with a Gnar in the top side instead of the Rumble and a Rek'Sai instead of the Gragas. But for all intents and purposes, early game focused jungler.
Yep.
Although the Gragas, of course, does do better in the late game. But just about protecting that Jinx, they have an extra tank in this game in Gnar instead of the Rumble for additional damage. So, I don't know. Taking Jinx into Twisted Fate, Evelyn, where they're going to get flanks on you and not having another damage source, I question this draft from Samsung.
I mean, you're relying a lot on your teammates to save you.
Rumbles. Oh, okay. This is an old Smeb classic.
Oh, man. I love it. It's about time that it's come back. Smeb's Riven.
Against the Gnar. Very interesting. And Riven was nerfed in 5.9.
Yeah.
The projectile speed on the Wind Slash is just a little bit slower, so it is, a little harder to land that ability.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the Whimsy and whatnot, Fury might be able to get out with a sliver of health if need be. But of course, I mean, if you get the Jinx out of the fight, whether dead or alive, that's what really matters for the Tigers. And Riven, Evelynn, Twisted Fate, Alistar, they can all jump on to that Jinx and keep her on lockdown.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this. Also, Riven's movement speed, base movement speed reduced as well. So a couple of nerfs, not huge ones, but still something to keep in mind. Now, Smeb, for those of you who don't know, has done really well in the past on top Riven, and we're talking about last year.
Yeah.
When IM2 actually beat Samsung Blue, and Smeb was playing Riven in that game.
It was really impressive.
There is precedent.
Yeah,
for this. And there's insane kill pressure in both lanes for Hojin and Kuro.
Yes.
So they're really going for a more early game focused composition. I like it. We'll see if it works.
All right, well, KOO throwing down the gauntlet this time. In game number 3, we'll see who takes the win. Man, this game for Samsung, I mean, Fury can do all he wants for positioning, but it's in the end going to come down to his teammates, really. No matter how hard you try, when there's a Riven, Evelynn, TF,
Flashing
and an Alistar
on top of you, that is really brutal. Really brutal.
Yeah, I mean, Crown and Luna are going to have to be on complete bodyguard duty, really, and making sure their abilities don't miss a beat just to keep him alive. And at that point, the question is, even if he's alive, if he's still going to be chain knocked up by Riven and Alistar and then being stunned, you're still doing no damage. I mean, the Tigers are happy with that.
Yeah, also, the Riven pick, I'm not sure how this will work in the lane swap. Obviously, Riven does have some jungling capabilities, so probably can fend for herself decently well in a lane swap scenario. Samsung going to want the 2v2 here.
Uh-oh. Oh, there's a double knock-up with the flash and the gold guard out to Fury. There's the lantern, though, and the boomerang coming in. All right, so Fury had to start with the traps just to make sure they weren't chased down, but they did take out both summoners from Gorilla. No summoners used by Samsung.
None, but lantern first for Luna, which is horrendous in lane. That is a fast way to lose your lane, and you don't have any control.
You can secure those souls from behind your towel.
From behind your towel, huh?
Tower.
Did you just take a shower? Bathing Thresh.
You know, the souls and the...
Doesn't have a hook, he just has soap on a rope.
Well, hey, there's some good use for their lantern. The traps, too, yeah. So Fury is going to be stuck on that minigun mode. So he won't have that range to even farm if Prey and Gorilla decide to pressure.
Okay. Well, Smeb is going to take the Wolf Camp first. Gromp first for this Evelynn. Kuve heads directly into lane. And TP from Smeb. We'll see him coming up to that top side. We'll have to see how this Riven-Gnar matchup goes. Smeb has tried to play that Aurelia into the Gnar to limited success in the finals just a few weeks ago. And now he's going to try sort of a different top lane carry to achieve that same effect. Yesterday, Someday played the Yasuo in it and actually worked pretty well. So
was a pretty good carry. I mean, at MSI, Koro1 also picked that Aurelia and blindly, and then eventually into the Gnar, and had amazing success in that game. So I think a lot of it actually really depends more on the Gnar and your rage control. Because if they dive in and you turn to Mega Gnar, then the fight's completely in your favor because you've got the CC and the tankiness.
So Hojin's going to check and see if there's anybody at the blue buff. And it's finally happened, Chobra. Somebody is playing Evelynn while Eve is on the opposite team.
Oh, no.
For maximum confusion. And we nearly had in this game, before Hojin had to change his name from Lee, so close to having
The Lee
Eve on Lee and Lee on Eve. At which point we will just have to talk about KOO's jungler and Samsung's jungler because there is no other way to refer to them at that stage.
Well, nice spell show from Prey. Gonna avoid all of the CC there.
Still, big CS deficit already for Prey in lane. Yes, there's a large wave pushing towards him, but they haven't been able to do much with the summoners down. The threat has been pretty big from Samsung, even though they did have to take traps and lantern first.
Yeah, they just had to wait one more level to make sure they had their tools. The flame threat from Luna. I mean, sure, Prey's avoiding it with the spell shield, but and Crown with a nice early blue.
Handing that one over as fast as possible. They just want to keep pushing this lane up and keep KOO contained. KOO actually going for Ignite instead of Ghost this game. That's a different adaptation. Ghost so useful on Twisted Fate.
Yeah, but I mean the burst will of course help keep Fury out of the fight, even if it doesn't secure the kill right away.
Alright, first gank of the game coming in. Gorilla still doesn't have flash to set this one up. I'm not sure how successful this is going to end up being.
Luna. Yeah, that's making sure he sees something's up so he gets the lantern down. Eve down the top lane. Kuve is stacking up his rage, but the minion wave's really pushed up against that tower. So looks like they'll just back out. Smeb just hitting level 5. There's nice clear by the Mega Gnar.
Yeah, Hojin not setting up any early ganks, instead just focusing on the counter jungling here.
Yeah, I mean, getting some advantages out of it. He's definitely a little bit ahead, and he's been able to keep track of Eve somewhat in the early stages. Now, Gorilla's flash is going to be up soon, so Fury needs to watch out. They better have a really good timer on this, or else he's going to get caught completely unawares.
Early cooldown boots for KOO as well, so just trying to dodge around to that lane as much as possible. Make sure that his wild cards are up so that he can counteract some of this pushing coming in from the Glitter Lance.
Well, it's not going to do him too much good for his first Destiny because he won't have that damage. Of course, he'll still have the stun, and like you mentioned earlier, Monty, the kill pressure is in the side lanes already.
He's got tier 2 boots, so this is also compensating for the fact that he doesn't have Ghost.
Oh, that's true.
So that is quite important as he continues to chase down target and maybe getting a second pick a card in, a second gold card.
Yeah, KOO now going to go back. Maybe once more, but I mean, you see that with the blue buff. Crown just pushing up non-stop. KOO, and Eve actually here from across the wall, and can they get the knock-up? They're going to force the flash out of KOO. He doesn't want to take any chances with that one.
Nothing he could do after he had just pulled the blue card to get some mana back to clear, but they can dive this perhaps. Kuve's...
He's turning into Mega Gnar real soon,
though. That's quite risky. Not a good timing from the Tigers. Getting stunned under that turret, not something that they will be able to survive. So Hojin shows himself, and they don't get an advantage. Kuve sticking around, and now they've changed their focus onto Crown, who's pushed up pretty far right here. They want to set it up with a Destiny on the mid lane. Here we go.
The Destiny and gold card coming in. Now Crown does have wild growth, also has the flash. Yeah, the wild card not going in. The Ignite went onto Crown, but to no success. Crown still has his Ignite, so he has a summoner advantage when he returns to lane.
Yeah, these mid lane ganks aren't really working out for either TF player quite yet. There's just not enough damage on some of these junglers. No sign of a warrior enchantment this early in the game for Hojin.
Yeah, and also just no damage on the Twisted Fate too, and for a short lane, the earlier move speed not going to be as useful in chasing your opponent down.
Of course, the Lula, very safe pick as well. Hard to take out, even if you have that Ignite, just because of the wild growth, giving you enough extra stats that you're able to skip out of danger. So, looks like Gorilla just trying to get some top wards down. This Riven hasn't done a whole lot yet. Gotten a decent CS lead, actually.
Yeah, there's a Brutalizer here for Smeb, and Gorilla's just going to charge through and knocks Kuve out from that hop. Kuve's Trying to turn into Meganar soon, but there is the Ignite. Oh, KOO will survive as he turns into Meganar and denies that extra burst from Windslash thanks to the HP left mechanic. And he's actually going to get the stun onto Smeb, but Gorilla's still tanking the tower for him. And Smeb, oh, if he got hit by that house, that was pretty big danger zone, and that's going to give Samsung a window to get this dragon. Well played by KOO, avoiding that.
And look at this,
death.
Rocket coming up, but it does get intercepted by Hojin in the middle of the map. Well played by KOO, but also Gorilla airballed his pulverized there, so had the pulve hit, definitely KOO would have died. So a bit of a misplay, and how much are they going to lose for this? Lost a dragon, are they going to lose Prey?
Teleport coming in for Smeb, so a flash from Eve. They don't want to deal with that. That Riven is pretty scary. Not at full health though, but Eve also pretty low, so they don't want to worry about that. Destiny was not up for KOO. He was trying to make his way down. And he's still waiting to see what's going on. His lane is pushed up anyway, and he will just return to mid at that point. And Smeb now didn't get to use his teleport for lane, so it's going to take him some time. Hojin will have to go up and soak in that XP. Meanwhile, Rek'Sai going over to hand blue to Crown in the mid lane.
So TFL just coming back up right now. We'll see if they can make a play. Smeb, however, TP down. Means that they can't all just come down into the bottom side. Hojin wants this. He wants the delay in the barriers. Here we go.
KOO got a little too greedy with the back timing there. He'll get stunned by the gold card. Smeb should be able to come in for this. Or actually, KOO is just going to help pick that off with Hojin. Yeah, KOO got a little too greedy with going back earlier rather than walking all the way back. They didn't have any eyes on Hojin recently. I think he also underestimated perhaps the time that KOO could have come to join in with that Destiny.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Tigers, Smeb not getting even an assist right there, and the response from Samsung is just to bull rush this tower in the mid lane. Fantastic job. So a kill for a turret. Samsung finding a way to make that work for them. Prey and Gorilla only get this one down by about 1/3 HP.
Well, Gorilla looking to see who's showing up. They're not going to check that Eve is, though, so Gorilla will just back out peacefully. Hojin also in the bottom side of the map being spotted by Samsung members.
Still, getting that early tower down for Samsung limits the options even further for Twisted Fate for Ultimate. Puts him out of range.
Yeah.
If he's pushed back down to his tier 2.
Yeah, Crown just needs to make sure that Eve and himself put down enough wards so that he can continue pushing far into that tier 2. Otherwise, even Smeb could maybe go for an early rotate. Gorilla could come in with Hojin, try to set up a kill onto that Lulu, or at least send her back and take that tier 1 away from Samsung also. Eve setting up for a gank in the bottom lane. Not going to happen, though. They still check for wards, and none there. But the bottom lane wants to go and get some new items anyway. So Eve will join them in a trip back home.
Yeah, well, just still moving up the mid lane right here. Not going to get seen. Gets a ward down just so they have some more pressure. Ping's immediately going down. I think they saw the ward down on their ward, so they knew that Evelyn was there.
Really good eye from Samsung. So they know that there's a ward there. They know that Evelyn is somewhere nearby. KOO showing up, trying to push back. Now we do have Luna and Eve showing up. They're going to catch Gorilla a little bit, but he'll just pulverize and walk away. Hojin hasn't really been able to find another angle yet. Of course, he did get that kill in the top lane after the second attempt. But first attempt coming from Gorilla. But it took a lot of effort to take down KOO once. And it's giving them a little bit of a lead for Fury. Oh, not going to get the slow. The zap onto Prey. Luna and Eve are still waiting, though. Eve just checking everything out with his Tremor Sense. He knows where everyone is. KOO gonna go home.
Yeah, they really can't make too much of an aggressive play here because they have 2 pink wards. The Tigers have 2 pink wards on the side to make sure that KOO can roam. Goes back and buys this Morello Damacon, so he could constantly threaten the bottom lane, which is preventing Fury and Luna from actually pushing down this tower.
Yeah, I mean, they have Jinx. They would be able to take it pretty quickly, even if there's an Alistar on the other side. But the Evelyn and the TF threat that you mentioned earlier, Monty, from the picks and bans, is really working in favor of the KOO Tigers. Now, Crown finally just joining up after having shoved out the mid lane. It gets clear, but it doesn't matter. They just want to take this turret at this point.
This is really dangerous.
And KOO are coming in. Spell Shield used by Prey, but there's the Flash Pulverize, but the Wild Growth, and Fury actually being knocked out and closer to the Lantern. Wild Card hits 3 members as KOO comes in, flashes away. Smeb gets a nice kill after the teleport. Kuve comes in, but no Mega Gnar in sight just yet. Crown gets gold carded. He's going to get stunned, knocked up by the Broken Winds, and there's the headbutt flash forward by Hojin. A nice rocket by Fury. Picks up 1 kill, though, and he gets excited, gets the zap. Boomerang not going to connect. Kuve trying to go in. There's a knockabout to Gorilla. Samsung might be able to turn this back around. Can they charge through, though? The gold card comes in. Kuve's getting really low, but there's the Mega Gnar.
Right in the nick of time. So close. And a little bit of an over pursuit right there. The rocket not respecting it, getting that last bit of damage down so the Tigers couldn't clear up.
Oh, and Smeb's going to get knocked up. The house doesn't hit, but Eve will be able to pick up that kill, no problem.
Greedy, when you know that there's actually that Tremor Sense there to see you, and they could have an invade and go afterwards. So Smeb dying there, and that actually has the trade going over. As
Talk about greed, though. Eve's going to get caught right back.
This game's turning into a train wreck.
We're in the zone.
Well, you got 4 hits on a pink ward. Worth.
I'll take that out next time. And Fury will be chased down. I don't think he's going to get out of this. I mean, there are the traps. It is going to catch both members. So Gorilla not having his flash or his ultimate to get through that. Won't be able to set up a kill.
Fury going to have to back off right as this dragon spawns as well. So KOO has their eyes on this one as they push out the mid lane. They're probably going to get it. Kuve no TPs topside, so yeah, not really anything they're going to be able to do. First dragon of the game for the Tigers is the 2nd overall.
And so evening out on dragon stacks, of course. Samsung regaining the gold there to match up after taking a 2nd turret.
So Kuve going for the Gnar build with the Frozen Mallet. Let's take a look at this fight again. So Fury just missed positions. He gets headbutted immediately, but the Lantern actually managing to save him. KOO playing with the Brush Vision, and there is Crown getting destroyed by Smeb.
Yeah, looks like it was a Destiny Gate coming in with a gold card, catching him right outside power range. Yeah, in that replay, the Lantern, the predictive Lantern by Luna, knowing the headbutt was going to come through, was really good.
And he started walking back immediately, too, to just maximize that range. But still, that Jinx, it just goes to show what this composition is going to be able to do. And even though Samsung's comp scales so very well, the fact that the Tigers have the perfect weapons to deal with the Jinx, even in the ultra late game, since they don't have any other damage threats, means that if that Jinx ever dies, ever mispositioned slightly, if KOO gets on top of Jinx, it's just going to be over the team fight.
I mean, that's what we saw when KOO used this similar composition in
game
but
at least they had Rumble. They had something else to deal damage.
Fair enough.
Cinderhulk, Rek'Sai, Gnar, Lulu, not going to really help out here comparatively to the massive damage dealers that the Tigers are fielding.
Yeah, all of them will do lots of damage, except maybe Gorilla's Alistar. Even the jungler will be able to do quite a bit, as Evelyn's often do, especially with the Warrior enchantment. Of course, Riven known for the damage, and TF also will have some decent burst. Samsung now trying to pressure the last outer turret left. No flash on Gorilla this time around. In fact, no flashes on the entire team of Tigers for now. No summoners for Fury either, though, so he needs to watch out. But some other skills available for Samsung to keep Fury alive. Fury needs to start chunking away at the tower, but they're going to get a hook onto Gorilla. They are not going to get the kill as Unbreakable Will comes out. The rocket got to be blocked by 3 members of the Tigers. They knew exactly what was coming down. And Samsung, looks like they're getting a little too eager to chase down that easy kill. They'll have to go back and pick up the turret. And they will be able to do that eventually.
Yeah, minion wave coming up right there. Great siege from Samsung, zoning people out and getting the necessary poke down because Prey wasn't there to help out with the wave clear and to respond with some boomerang blades of his own. He was trying to push out the bottom side. And then as we take a look right here, Gorilla gets hit by just about everything, including a crit rocket. And then
look at them just all run towards the rocket. So good save on Gorilla. Of course, if Jinx did get excited there, who knows? Maybe Luna would have pursued a little harder too to chain that into more kills. So worst case, KOO Tigers will lose that tier 1.
Last outer turret goes down, but still gold lead for the Tigers.
Yes. Says quite a bit. I mean, they're 2 towers down. Of course, 2 kills up, but even then, that's going to speak to some of the CS advantage, especially in that top lane. Of course, Twisted Fate having some extra gold too. Eve showing up in lane, Luna looking for a possible jump onto the Tigers, but there's a Destiny Gate coming in right in the back line, and Kuro's going to get a gold card onto Crown, and Luna's going to go down. Fury is doing free damage, but no one left to protect the poor Jinx. Out front, Kuve also joining up a little late for Samsung, a completely outnumbered fight actually, and going in favor of the Tigers.
Right, and absolutely no rage. This is the timing too when the KOO Tigers really want to fight, when they've got this unbreakable will before anyone really becomes too tanky on the opposite team, so they have a tank advantage and they have a huge damage edge as well.
And
with the ribbon and the warrior enchant on the Evelyn, so that's a large gold lead. All of a sudden, the Tigers jumping up by an additional 2,000 gold as a result of that fight.
Yeah, and Samsung trying to just chase forward, maybe make something happen, but they won't have the ability to catch up. Tigers wall back out, 1 minute and 20 until Dragon, and Samsung has the advantage to take vision for now.
Yeah, but it's another advantage for them. Their ults are going to be back up by that time. Fury's flash is not, so they will have an even easier chance of jumping on him as long as they set up vision properly around this Dragon Pit, particularly with the Evelyn. If they can control pink wards, then they should be able to get a flank in some direction or other right here.
You know, considering Eve died for the 4 hits onto that pink ward, it's staying alive for a really long time. I mean, Luna just walked by it again.
The value for that pink ward was insane, Chobra.
It got them a kill, and it's still getting vision 10 minutes in. There's a nice ward by Gorilla over the wall to make sure that Samsung wasn't hiding out there. Eventually, the pink ward will be taken on. I think maybe replaced, but for now, Gorilla just going in and clearing out Samsung's pink wards. 20 seconds until Dragon is up. No teleports, but everyone joining back in. Hojin possibly looking like he was going to go topside, but he will return.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to steal the blue buff at the very least, so that's not going to be picked up by Kuro. All ultimates back up, except for the box. And with that, Tigers just pushing forward on the map.
Uh-oh, Fury. Yeah, Samsung's caught out real bad. They are going to just all have to group up together to back out. Kuro just puts down that threat. It does push Samsung back into their own territory, which
they really needed that ult, though.
Yeah, it gave KOO Tigers a little bit of time to regroup, but they weren't actually able to make anything happen out of that. The other members of the Tigers were actually a little too far for Kuro to comfortably jump in for that gold card without his flash. Doesn't have that Zonias either. Went for that Lich Bane.
It did give them position on the pit, though, so
exactly.
We'll see if it's worth it, because now they don't have so many flanking opportunities. You can see Hojin already looping back around.
Yeah,
but they don't want to fight this in a choke point against Samsung, and they don't want to fight it head on. They have to have some sort of easy access to the Jinx.
Well, Prey taking some poke damage. The Dragon being juggled back and forth. And Smeb and Hojin with the long flank all the way around.
No wards.
It's actually going a lot longer than they thought, though, as Samsung decides just to push down that mid lane. Now, the KOO Tigers should still be able to get this flank they wanted, but they find Smeb, so there's the Lantern out, and Luna being smoked by Hojin. Fury is protected by Crown, Luna, and Kuve. There's a Mega Narc coming in. Smeb is actually caught out a little bit. There's a knockabout to Smeb, and there's the ultimate backwards from Kuve. He's taking a lot of damage, but he will survive for now. The Mega Inferno Rocket not getting the kill just yet, but there we go. Fury gets excited as he picks up the kill. Prey joins in, but a 3-man, 4-man knockup as Gorilla goes down. Fury still bouncing back and forth, takes a lot of damage from the wild cards, but gets another one. Will escape with the Whimsy away from the Boomerang Blade. A 3-0 kill win for Samsung as they go for the Dragon.
And Samsung reacted to that immediately upon seeing the flank coming in for the wards, just turning onto it, pulling Fury back so we could get some autos onto Smeb, and then they were able to lock him down. Perfect Gnar timing on the transformation, so they just use everything to help take out Smeb right there. Smeb not able to do much at all in this team fight. KOO throwing some wild cards in from the back, but Prey has to walk all the way around. And then that huge knock-up from Eve as KOO, unfortunately for them, decides to cluster up, and that's when the Jinx resets start coming in. So now Samsung back even in terms of gold.
Yeah, really well played. I mean, like you mentioned, Prey was also too far to add on any damage, and even if he wanted to, he was walking into a choke point, so it was pretty risky anyway.
And again, the Frozen Mallet from KOO. This is just to deal with the Riven. Same thing that you would do versus a Hecarim. Just go ahead, kite the Riven forever if you can, and continue to auto-attack so that the Riven can't split push for free for the rest of the game.
Luna going in really deep for a ward. He will succeed in that mission as Samsung looks to find possibly another fight, or at least one member caught away from his team. And Smeb's going to be spotted by the Termisons, I presume. Nope, actually. He's going to come downwards.
They're trying to threaten the Baron right now, but it's not going to work. There is a ward in the Baron pit. Meanwhile, Lichbane, KOO is going to split push this tower.
Yeah, he'll succeed in getting that for sure, as no one is in a good position to go for that defense. Hojin shows up behind, and Samsung's just going to back out. More pings around the Baron pit. This time around, no wards left in the Baron pit. There's a Destiny, though. Of course, you can use that. And TF still has free pushing power.
Right, and now they can get more wards in. So Samsung, this is a little bit of a fool's errand from them, trying to bait the Baron this early on. Because the KOO Tigers literally don't have to respond unless they actually do the Baron.
Well, they are going to actually do it. Destiny is down now for KOO, so they have that advantage. TF's going to take a long time to regroup. It's going down decently quickly. There's the box by Luna. It actually denies Gorilla the entrance, and Hojin's going to get caught in the back. But Prey coming in with so much damage. There's the ultimate from KOO, keeping him at bay. A nice wild growth, keeping Gorilla, Smeb, and Prey knocked up. Fury gets one kill. He's got excited. He got the whimsy. Oh, but the flash gold card from the side turns it around. Smeb picks up a kill. A Broken Winds knock up, and there's a gold card to pick up the kill onto Crown as Eve finally takes down Hojin.
Yeah, that's the danger right there. It's way too early in the game to be forcing Barons like that. Just go ahead and respond to the TF split push. KOO has his teleport up. He can absolutely go home. You're going to lose that one turret, but at least you don't have to get ganked by the Destiny and the Gate anymore, right? You lose a turret, but you're still just playing for the late game here against this Riven in this squishier composition. So they gave the Tigers what they needed. And they clean up as a result, stop the Baron, get 1.5 towers pretty much. It's a good play on the Gorilla to prevent him from getting the combo onto multiple members. Hojin has a good ultimate to start off the fight, and Prey gets a bunch of auto attacks down, but here's the big changer. KOO finally makes it up, flash gold card onto Fury, and Fury is just exploded by Smeb.
Fury got a little too eager to chase them down, because, I mean, if KOO wasn't there, he would have been able to, especially with Mega Gnar right by his side. But unfortunately not happening, and Luna actually getting caught out a little bit, but not going to result in a fight, as KOO didn't really have a good place to gate into when he's right in front of them.
Yeah, they're still trying to bait this Baron. It's still too early. They just don't have enough damage with just a Jinx right now to do it fast enough.
Yeah, they'll have to wait a little bit. Randuin's now in the works for KOO. And the KOO Tigers just doing the same thing again. I mean, Samsung seems too eager to make something happen around the Baron pit, so the KOO Tigers are just giving it to them, and in fact corralling Samsung into that side of the map, giving Twisted Fate free reign on the bottom side whenever he wants.
Yeah, Smeb going for a pure damage build too.
The Baron has been started though. And KOO just being shown, and Gorilla walking towards them. Luna backing out a little bit. They need to make sure they don't get caught once again. Nice three-man ultimate coming in from Hojin, but there's a knockoff onto Gorilla. Gorilla caught way out in front. The damage now finally coming in for the KOO Tigers, but Samsung has also taken quite a bit of a hit, so they're going to have to back out once again.
There's just nothing you can do right now about this Baron bait. Samsung overcommitting to this.
Hello, Luna.
Hi.
I think Luna wanted to go for the counter flank onto Smeb, which may have worked if all of Samsung followed through, but they were busy dodging that wind slash. So Smeb and KOO just picking up a free kill onto the poor Thresh.
Uh-oh. Is it time to try the Baron again, Chobra? I don't think it is.
Well, well, this time trying to bait it.
There's a ward in the back of the pit that Smeb just placed, though. What are... No. No, Samsung. Can't do that right now.
How many Baron attempts does it take for Samsung to realize they're going to lose?
There's TP and Destiny up right now. There's no way you do that with your guys that haven't even recalled at this point to get some more HP.
They're really overestimating the power they have in Jinx right now when she only has 2 core items.
Yes, they are. Very much. I agree with you entirely. And it's costing them. Now they're 5K gold behind as a result of that extended series of Baron baits.
Yeah, and
when they could just hold steady. Just go defend your turrets. They also lost an insane amount of CS by doing that.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, look at TF, 245, 70 ahead of Crown, who's a Lulu. I mean, Lulu farms just fine. Wildcard's coming in from the side, though. And so Samsung knows they want to back out a little bit. Destiny up, but Fury is way in the back lines. KOO Tigers not in place to follow up. There's a 3-man ultimate start. There's a Prey just charging forward with On the Hunt. Crown has to use the Wild Growth to catch Kuro. Prey's going to get a kill. Kuro still alive with the Zhonya's. Hojin's going to pick up a kill onto Crown. Fury trying to do as much damage as he can from over the wall, but the Unbreakable will keep Gorilla alive. Kube trying to just get the stuns and protect Fury. Fury's out of mana, so he can't shoot his rockets anymore. Tries to get one more crit down, but it's not enough damage. And 3 members down for Samsung as the KOO Tigers walk towards the Dragon. Yeah,
they're going to be able to take this Dragon. Get their second of the game. Fury taking a gamble with the rocket.
Well, that was... could have turned things very interesting, but... not going to happen. Now, you know, it's just interesting to me that Samsung correctly played against this exact composition to success, and they're just falling into the same trap. Like,
well, you know, sometimes it's a matter of practice, Chobro.
That is true.
Sometimes
it is true.
It's a matter of practice, and yeah, they have been caught out a little bit, and they're not being patient. They should know that they will have some sort of edge in the late game, especially when Fury gets a QSS. I mean, it's still going to be difficult for Fury to stay alive. KOO did pick a kill the Jinx composition, so... But yeah, they need to have a little bit more faith, I feel.
I'm pretty sure, though, the time's really running out. If Smeb gets a Guardian's Angel...
That's very true.
Yeah, the moment that Guardian's Angel comes out, Fury is just not staying alive. There's nothing you can do about it. He'll just keep chasing after you. He's got that Black Cleaver, too, for some health and armor shred on top of the cooldown, so he'll really be able to chase and provide continuous crowd control with those knockups on broken wings right there.
Yeah, and this is where KOO's composition can really take the lead with the massive gold advantage that they have. Their setup for picks around this Baron pit is going to be devastating, as Samsung will have to repeatedly face check just to make sure that there's no Baron going down because of the speed at which it could be done.
Yeah, I mean, Fury's doing a lot of damage, and Samsung, like you said, if they were just a little more patient and allowed Fury to have the fight that he wanted, it'd be just fine. Now,
Samsung doesn't know how to do this. If there's a Rek'Sai in the enemy team, you have to run around in circles in the Baron pit.
Yeah, well, Hojin gets the perfect flank. Fury will be able to lantern out, but Crown and Kube are just going to get knocked back and forth. Gorilla with a double knockup with that Pulverize. A nice play to keep Fury alive, but here comes Smeb, gets 1 kill. The cooldowns are coming, but he's going to back out as he takes a crit to the face.
Fury just taking the coward's way out right there. Bye, guys.
He's like, I'm out. I'm done. New team can't protect me.
No, they can protect him. They just can't protect themselves, unfortunately. There's only one lantern. There's only one ticket out of that situation, and Fury's going to take it every time. So that'll be a Baron for the Tigers.
Wow, poor Crown, 0-6-6, just hasn't had the most spectacular game after some successful games on Twisted Fate previously. And Fury looking for a little bit sustained now, building towards the Vamp Scepter after the last Whisper. Prey on the other side, 5-0 and 8 as the enemy AD carry.
And both AD carries doing pretty well this game, but the picks are being made by the Tigers. Samsung invested so many resources into trying to bait that Baron, and it was a fruitless endeavor that allowed the Tigers to take a lot of objectives and a lot of farm on the map and then kill them.
Yep. Prey also going for the Alacrity enchantment on his boots, just going for the flat move speed bonus rather than the Fur enchantment, allowing him to rejoin the fight as soon as he can, and also just dance around the outside even if he doesn't have the target to kite with.
Yeah, also just good for the sieging in this situation as well. KOO has basically everything a Twisted Fate could want right now. So the split push is going to come in, 1-3-1. Could be done by the Tigers, but it looks like they want to group to siege with Sivir and Twisted Fate together, considering there is no tier 2 in the bottom side.
Yeah, I mean, they have the Baron buff. This is going to be easy takedowns, and Destiny Gage is being used liberally at this point. With that Baron buff, they just want to push as much as possible, put down all the pressure. They'll be able to take that next dragon, too. And Prey and Kuro in the bottom lane. Hojin's going to hang out here a little bit behind. He's going to get spotted by the tower, so he's putting down the threat. There's a teleport from Smeb, too. They really want to secure this inhibitor. Teleport going to be denied from Kube, and a nice flash pulverized. Lantern cannot be taken as the entire team of the Tigers stand on top of it. Fury down. Can KOO Tigers end the game right here? Smeb jumps in, gets the stun, gets a kill onto Crown. He's still going with the shield as he Broken Wings out of the Nexus turrets, and Gorilla just tanking it for one last second as the KOO Tigers push for the win in Game 3, a 35-minute game. Smeb with another successful ribbon under his belt, and the Tigers win 2-1.
Wow. Well, the Tigers pulled it out in the end. It was a little bit dicey there for a while. Samsung actually putting up more of a fight today than I thought they would, coming in at having that really cool composition in Game 1 and taking it to the limit in Game 2, really pushing the Tigers hard. Tigers deciding to pick an early game, mid-game focused composition in the third game, and they got the kills where it needed, and Samsung just not patient enough with their composition.
Yeah, definitely showing that they still have some more experience to gain, some more lessons to be learned over time, but you know, I agree with you, Monty. They showed us a really new side in Game 1. It was very well prepared, very crisp. And I think, you know, if you're a fan of the Samsung team, there's definitely better days to look forward to from here on out.
I think Samsung is definitely evolving. We've seen some very distinct game plans from them already this season, a couple different ones, and now they've actually started to have that execution in terms of their teamwork as well. And innovation, bringing that TF Bard composition with Sivir in Game 1, it was a really good comp, and they played it quite well.
Yeah, they played it very well. They took that Game 1. Put some danger in front of the KOO Tigers, but the KOO Tigers climbed back, beat the Bard composition in Game 2 with a couple of nice bans and picks. And then in Game 3 with some fresh picks of their own, putting Samsung actually into the same boat that the Tigers endured in Game 1 and making it, you know, making Samsung play a hard composition to pull off towards the late game.
And the Tigers as well, at least getting one of their rare wins as well since the drop of the Cinderhulk patch. Trying to turn things around right now. I think that Samsung can be proud of what they did today, though.
Yeah.
They've really come a long way. Crown and Luna's addition make a big difference, I think, in the roster.
So I'm hoping with the lost Game 2, now everyone will be like, oh, we know how to counter Bard, and let's Sweet play it in our next match. We'll see if that comes through. Probably not, though. I'm sure there's a reason that Sweet's Bard has been banned before any of us have seen it in a professional setting.
That said, KT tends to be cocky. They've let Callista through before,
yes,
and that's going to happen on Saturday, KT versus Jenner. So
they might want to test the waters a little bit for everyone else here in Champions. See if they can take the challenge, and the interview is being prepared with the members who have gotten an MVP award from the KOO Tigers. Now starting off the season with a 1-1 record after a tough loss against Najin, climbing back in with a 2-1. And your MVP for Game 3 will be Smeb with the top lane ribbon.
I think KOO probably should have gotten that one.
I was thinking Gorilla.
Oh, Gorilla was very good too. But he played Riven, ergo MVP.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you play Vayne and win, MVP. Play Riven and win,
Play Yasuo and win,
MVP. I mean, he did have good plays.
Look at Gorilla right there.
Yeah, really solid play. With the teleport coming in, and that was just a win slash, actually.
He just pressed R. Come on, MVP voters.
But he did have some nice stuns later on. But we're going to see the same thing here. He's just going to get caught out. This was really KOO's MVP right here. This one where he flashes forward finally as he comes up from the blue
ran
buff.
around in a circle dodging Kuve's abilities.
Yep.
Oh, keyed in for the kill.
Press the buttons. Get the kills.
Let's watch Smeb here as well. Comes in. Wind slash over the wall.
Didn't get a kill with it.
No, he's trying to hit ground while KOO is scraping with him right there. There's a flash.
That was a good
knock
one.
up. That was a good play.
Yeah. I mean, he played Riven well. It's just to say that he didn't exactly set up the wins for his team. He picked up the wins for his team.
In the true Riven fashion. Press R, claim you carried.
Yeah, well, he did become that very scary threat later on. You just couldn't ignore it. He was chasing them down. And so we'll have a quick interview with the MVP winners of the KOO Tigers after their second match, taking a win, making it 1-1. And of course, for our interview, we will have our trusty translator, Barry. Take it away.
Good afternoon, everybody, and we're going to go into our MVP interviews with our two MVPs today. KOO in Game 2 on Kassadin, and then Smeb in Game 3 on Riven. And KOO took their first victory this season over Samsung. And let's meet the MVPs. Congratulations. Let's talk with KOO first. Hello, hello. So today seemed a little tough for you guys. How do you feel right now? Well, you know, in our real matches, we seem to not have the same kind of our practice plan doesn't really come through. We don't seem to be performing as well as we think we do, so it was a little tough. But did you predict that you guys might have this much trouble against Samsung? So in the summer season, usually LOL Champions becomes a lot more competitive. So, you know, everybody got a lot better, like all the teams. So I think we have to work really, really hard this season. So talking about his lane opponent today, Crown, came from Brazil, used to play for Kaboom Black. How's laning against him? I think Samsung had a really good plan going into the game, and then they had a really good plan, especially with the Rek'Sai pick, and it was just really tough to play against. I think they just prepared really, really well for today. Picture of KOO from our buff girl. So in set one, Bard was played really well, and set two, you guys didn't ban it, even though the Bard performed very well. Is there a reason why you guys didn't ban it? And our bottom lane decided that they were able to face off against the Bard and deal with it, so we decided not to ban it and just went forward. And talking about the split push in set two, when the Nexus towers were taken while they're trying to take Baron. So you guys were in a bit of a dilemma the whole time, you know, whether you need to go defend or not. So how did you guys feel about that? Well, it felt like a long time ago. Well, like a long time ago when I was on IM, and there was like a time when, you know, Super Minions just destroyed us, and it just really reminded me of that. And just almost seemed like that the Super Minions might just might take the game for Samsung. So you guys got 5 stacks in set 2 and were able to kind of roll through and claim the win. And, you know, was that objective-based play? Was that the plan, like going in? Well, it's hard. Our composition had a hard time making very like quick rotations compared to Samsung. So we just decided we're just gonna focus on the dragon, take the dragon stack, and then go in for the try to win through that. And your next match is against SKT1. It's a little bit of a rematch since the grand finals. How do you guys feel about that? Well, we got really destroyed in the grand finals last season. So hopefully we'll be able to ride this momentum, the momentum of this win, practice really hard, and hopefully show the same performance that we do in practices, and maybe win. So, and now let's meet our second MVP, Smeb. Hello, hello. So you played Riven today and played well. This is your first win of the summer season. How do you feel about the win today? Well, after we lost in the grand finals, our confidence dropped a lot. So after playing against after losing against Najin, and we talked with each other, why couldn't we, play the same way like we did in the first round of season on the spring season? So and we decided, let's just, let's try not to feel too much pressure. Let's just have fun while playing, and I think that kind of worked out for us. After the grand finals, how did you guys prepare for the summer season? Well, Wisdom joined our team, a new jungler, and we just try to have fun when we practice. So we just try to keep a positive atmosphere. And against Najin, you guys had very long matches against Najin last week. Did you guys want to finish early, as quickly as possible today? Well, rather than finishing quickly, let's just have fun. Yeah, and that's what we were thinking going into today's games. Smeb all about the fun. And yeah, you picked Riven and got the MVP today. How do you feel about that? Well, so when you play Riven, your teammates kind of have to sacrifice a little bit in order to get the Riven rolling. So I think, they picked Tusafe, they picked a bunch of other champions that kind of we lost strength in the other lanes to kind of push strength in the top lane. So I guess thank you to my team to kind of give me the opportunity to play Riven. And did you pick that on purpose so you could get the MVP on purpose? Well, not really. Well, that's not really the reason why I picked it. We just picked it because we wanted to play it. So we've heard that the KOO Tigers said that their goal is to make it to the World Championships. Do you have any words about your resolve going forward? Well, in the grand finals in the spring season, we weren't able to show a good performance, and it was a little bit disappointing. But in the summer, we're going to work really hard and try our best to make it to the World Cup, the World Championships. So congratulations to the KOO Tigers and our MVPs. That concludes our MVP interviews for today's matches. And I'm going to hand it back to Chobra and Lonnie. Take it back.
Thank you. All the soccer references today from Barry with the World Cup and heading it back to us, but don't think that's where Smeb wants to go with recent happenings. But here we are with the results. KOO Tigers taking that win 2-1, but newsflash, Smeb, EDG doesn't have fun, and they beat SKT T1. So I don't think fun is really the route you want to take. You're going to go to the World Championships and win that.
That's right. There is no fun.
Pawn
there is only winning.
Pawn was the ultimate fun police there. But we do have KOO Tigers climbing back into the mid-range here as the second week goes through halfway in our round one of the summer season. Looks like the summer season really will be quite interesting, though, as even Smeb and Kuro mentioned themselves, teams do get a lot more competitive as they start to prepare for a chance at the World Championship.
Yeah, I guess those circuit points earlier in the season mean nothing to them. Whatever. Anyway.
Our match is coming up tomorrow. We have Najin going up against SKT T1. See if Najin actually are coming back into play after their win against KOO Tigers. Of course, we had another game afterwards with Anarchy and Longzhu IM. And then CJ Antis versus Spenu and Jin Air versus KT Roaster on Saturday.
I'm really looking forward to that Jin Air versus KT Roaster, but SK Telecom versus Najin could be a surprisingly interesting series, considering that Najin has looked a lot more measured in their play recently, and we've seen some good carry performances out of OQ and Goong last week to overcome the Tigers. So might be closer than expected, actually.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, especially given that extra week to prepare, if Najin can really... They're starting to come back into the spark that they showed when we first saw the roster. Everyone was very excited about that Najin roster with the new additions.
Also, critically, Najin has only used the same 5 players for every game so far. So instead of just rapidly switching people out, they've been trying to stick with one roster, at least for the time being.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out for them. We return tomorrow with 2 more Best of 5s. Thanks for watching Champion Summer here at OGN. We have 2 more days coming up, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.